This tutorial is designed to guide you through creating your own graphic image for printmaking. Once completed, your work must be saved to Google Drive, so please remember to do this. Now let's get on with the tutorial. Firstly, open Google Drive and download at least 2 images you wish to work with. Save each image with a clear name and save it to your downloads for easy access later. Now open Photoshop. The shortcut can be found on the toolbar at the bottom of the screen. Now that we are in Photoshop, we need to create a new file. On the menu bar at the top of the screen, choose File, then click on New. Write your name as the name of the file. Where it's got preset, choose International Paper. This will be your working file. Make sure the resolution is 300 dots per inch. Now click OK. We are now going to open the files you downloaded from Google Drive earlier. Make sure your tool is set on the Move tool. Now go to File, Open, Downloads, and the file you downloaded should be located here. Open each of them into Photoshop. At the top of the workspace, each of the 4 files I have opened can be seen. My file, which is the one I will be creating the image in, plus the other 3 downloads. Let's get making. Choose one of the downloaded images to work on. Choose the Magic Wand tool and click on the background. This selects all the background that is connected. There are a few spaces missed, so we'll need to collect those as well. Hold down the Shift key and add to the existing selection, and click on those spaces that have been missed. Now choose Select from the menu bar at the top of the screen. Click Inverse and the creature is now selected. Go to Edit, Copy. Now switch over to your file. Now click on Edit, Paste. Now do the same again to the other animals that you wish to bring across to your file. I want to make my image horizontal or landscape, so I need to change the orientation of my file. Go to Image, Image Rotation, and 90 degrees clockwise. You will notice on the Layers palette, bottom right hand of the screen, that I have 3 layers, a background layer plus a layer for each creature. This is important for editing purposes later. The blue layer makes only that layer active. We are now going to use the Free Transform tool to change the orientation of the creatures to make creating easier. Click on Edit, Free Transform, and a box with anchor points appears around the object. To spin the object, place the mouse outside the box at the corner and turn. Now change layers and do the same again. Edit, Free Transform, Turn, press Enter. Choose the layer or creature you wish to work with first. Activate the correct layer. Now to flip the creature for my composition, you may not need to do this step. Press on Enter, Transform, Flip Horizontal. Check your layers and move creatures for resizing. To resize, Edit, Free transform. Hold down the Shift key to stop distortion of creature. Once you have the image the size that you wish, press enter. I want to remove parts of the turtle, so I'm going to choose the Eraser tool. I can change the size of the tool at the top of the screen. A large tool can quickly take big areas out, while a smaller tool is better for finer details. The Navigator tool is very useful. Go to the window at the top of the menu and click on Navigator. Using the Eraser tool is not always the best tool. There's also other tools that can be used, and I'm going to use the Magic Lasso tool. The eraser is not always the best tool to use, so I'm going to switch tools and use the Polygonal Lasso tool. And what this tool allows me to do is to anchor every time I click my mouse around specific shapes. Once I get back to the very beginning of that area, then I can delete the entire shape. If you press the Command key and the left button on your mouse, you can actually get back to the beginning of your selection without physically having to find it. It's a shortcut. Now I'm going to resize the squid, and I'll need to do exactly the same thing I did before. I need to first check that I'm on the correct layer, which is the same layer the squid's on. Then I go across to the top menu, choose Edit, Free Transform, pull from the corners holding down my Shift button so I don't distort it, and I can resize it. I can also bring my mouse out to the corner and I can turn the creature the way I want it to be positioned and then bring it into place. Once I have the squid where I want it to be, I press enter to stop the transformation happening, and I can also re-click on my eraser button and get rid of any extra bits of the squid's head that I don't want. It will not affect the turtle because the turtle is on a different layer. Clean up any other areas that you don't wish to be seen, and then we'll be able to continue manipulating our image. I'm now going to start manipulating the creature quite a bit. I don't want to see the eye of the squid underneath, so I'm going to actually cover it up with a completely new creation based on the armor or the shell that you can see from the turtle. So I'm going to use the Polygonal Lasso tool again and collect just that area of the shell that I want to use and duplicate over and over again. The most basic way to copy that particular selection that I just made is to go Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste, and you'll see over on the bottom right hand side of the Layers palette that we have a new layer which is the copied layer of what I just created. What you can see happening now is me reordering the layers. I want this particular layer to sit behind the one in front of it. So I simply drag, using the Layers palette, drag the new layer below the one that I want it to sit behind, and then it will sit exactly in the order I need it to be in. To view the entire workspace, simply go up to the top menu, click on View, Fit to Screen, and you'll have exactly what you need to see. The shortcut to duplicate a layer is to go over to your Layers palette, click on the layer you wish to duplicate, right click, choose Duplicate Layer, then click OK. Remember, you can reorganize the order of your layers by shifting them one below the other on the Layers palette. Now, after showing you how to do this, aesthetically I don't like the way that this is looking, so I'm going to go back and have a look at the original turtle to get some ideas, and I know what I want to do roughly. So I'm going to keep to the general sense of what a turtle shell would look like, and I'm going to manipulate that to suit myself. From the downloaded image of the turtle, I'm back on the original image. I've got to be careful not to upset things too much here. I'm selecting, as you've seen me do before with the Polygonal lasso. I'm going to copy, and then I'm going back to the original image, my image, and then I'm going to paste the image in there. You'll notice that the shortcuts are exactly the same as shortcuts that you would use in Google Drive or in Microsoft Word. Control-C or Command-C on a Mac is a copy, and Command-V is paste. I now need to resize this new selection, so Edit, Free Transform, holding down the Shift button, dragging from the corners, press Enter. I'm also editing using the Transform button where I flip horizontal in order to get a better presentation. On the Layers palette, by clicking on the eyes on the left-hand side of the palette, you can turn layers on and off. This can help to actually work out what works visually and what doesn't before you erase something. I've decided that I actually want to have the same on both sides of the turtle because I think visually it's working. So I make a copy, same way that you would have seen me do it before. Right click on the layer that I wanted, duplicate layer, OK, and then I go up to the Edit, Transform, then click on Horizontal Flip, and then I can use my Free Transform in order to twist it into the area that I want it to be. Then I can erase the bit that I don't want anymore out of the image. Make sure you're on the right layer if you have to do this, otherwise you'll be frustrated. Hint, if you right click on the layer that you want to work on to find out which layer it is, it will actually come up on screen for you, and then you can identify which layer it is. Simple adjustments can be made with placement. Just again, make sure you're on the right layer, otherwise you'll be frustrated. Now I need to resolve this middle space in between the shell areas that I've just constructed. So I'm going to go back to the original image of the turtle, and I'm going to also duplicate the edge of that so I can resize them and build up an area. So I keep mucking around and playing with the placement and the size until I finally get what I want, which is not too dissimilar to what we would see with the work of Patricia Piccinini. And here I have a turtle / squid, and that's my end result that I'm going to use for printmaking. Okay, we need to save your work, so you're going to go up to File, Save As. We're going to save to the desktop, so find Desktop, and you're saving it as a Photoshop file. Save. Okay. Now, once that's done, so go to My Drive, find whichever folder you're going to be placing into. In my case, I'm going to put it into the 2017 folders. New, File Upload. From Desktop, there's my image. Click on it, press Open, and it will start to upload for you. Thanks for listening, and good luck with your own making.